We are in the United States of America in Oklahoma City, and today we are visiting one of the biggest motor coach operators in this area. This is Village Travel.
So, good morning. We are here in Oklahoma City at our newest Village location. We've actually been in Oklahoma City for quite some time, but we just built a new building here. And like I said, here at Oklahoma City, my name is Tommy Bagwell. I'm one of the general managers for Village of our Arkansas location. But we're here in warm, sunny Oklahoma City, and it's probably 27 degrees out today, so not that warm. But anyway, so yeah, it's our new facility as we're standing in front of the tour department. So welcome to the facility, and let's go on a tour. So right now we're at just a little under 200 coaches. We're kind of right there on that borderline. This location, we're at about 45, 50, somewhere in there. This actual location actually does a couple different things. We have not only our seated coach, we also have our tour division, and then we also have our transport division, which are the tractor trailer trucks. So right now we're at about 12, 14 on those in transition from Kenworth to Volvo is coming up. So that's the new truck that we'll be running going forward. And most of that is done to support our entertainer and tour division. That's its main role as far as our trucking. Now, in the off season, when the superstars aren't touring like they normally do, then that's when we haul the normal dry freight, right? So we just kind of do what any other normal truck driver would do until tour season fires back up, and then our tour coaches are following our entertainer coaches around the United States. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. So basically, as it works, this is our departure center for our tours. That's where we're going to go inside here. Kind of the way this works is the bus would be inside, and we'll see that here shortly. But it operates much just like an airport terminal, other than the fact that you're not flying anywhere, we're driving, but very, very similar. We've got a check-in desk. We've got kind of the receiving area or lobby area or gate area. It's going to be much the same. And so this is basically the receiving area. So this is where everybody's going to come into. Then, like I said, obviously after you're done, it looks a lot like this. Behind the Rolladin door, there's actually, I guess you could say, like a cantina where you can get, foods, beverages. We use that so that way while they're here. And then while they're waiting, you see that we've got the TV screens. We usually have a tour director that's here, and that's the opportunity that we use to tell them about the upcoming tours that they may want to sign up for. So it's kind of, we've got a little captive audience there, so we try to take advantage of that. And then, like I said, the buses would be out here. This is actually a roll-up door. So one of the things it could do is kind of roll up and get out of the way so that way the people could move freely in between the bus, the luggage, and the waiting area. This is basically the departure staging area. And the way that would work is the cars would enter from this first bay. And basically you would drive in, unload your luggage into the motor coach, and then you'd go out here, park in the front area where we were. It's secured, gated, security. I mean, it's pretty much better than the airport. And then of course the bus would be right here, and there again, that's where you'd be waiting. This is where you'd get on the bus pulls out. And we really enjoy having the staging areas because, like I said, if you have beautiful weather like this, or it's raining or snowing or whatever, you've got a nice dry facility to get into and out of, so that way you're not out in the parking lot trying to load your stuff through the mush. So we have 7 total facilities. This is kind of the next biggest one. Our next biggest one is where our home office is in Wichita. And it's pretty much a carbon copy of this building. It's a little bigger because it houses all of our administrative, since it's the home office. And then our next newest location is the location, or one of the locations that I manage, and that's in Springdale, Arkansas. And so imagine if you took this building and just shrunk it down just a little bit. It's the same exact building. The layouts of all of our facilities are very, very similar. And that's kind of the point. Like I said, that way when you pull up, it's kind of like going to McDonald's. You know exactly what you're going to get. You already know, whether you're taking a tour out of Tulsa or Oklahoma City or Wichita, depending on which location you decide or which tour you decide on, that you're going to get about the same thing. You know where to go, you know where the bathroom is, you know where the cantina is. It's just a really good experience for the customer. They feel comfortable in their surroundings, and obviously that's what we want.
Most of the time, all the passenger comes to the facility.
Correct. Well, now we have some that we do have shuttle pickups.
Oh yeah.
Right, so we have different locations throughout anywhere USA, as far as that goes, that we'll pick folks up. and either bring them to one of the locations or we'll destine out of that location. We'll get on our way and mosey over into the shop area. All right, and so this is our shop area. Like I said, everything here, and that's really the nice thing about how Jeff has done our facilities. It's really cool in that everything is very purpose-built. It's not like your generic shop where everything is kind of the same. Because some people are, other shop people will come in and be like, well, dang, why are the hose reels so high? And why is this here? And it's like, well, because that's where we need it. So you'll see some things that, maybe the viewers are going to go, well, that's odd. I've never seen a shop put something that high, but you also have to realize our buses aren't short.
No,
so it's kind of one of those things. We have several different areas of the shop. Kind of each bay is kind of purpose driven. They do electronics in one, motor work in another. We also have dual pits, which is really nice. We actually have 2 sets of bus lifts. We do, I would say, a good 95% of all of our own work in-house. We farm very, very little. Matter of fact, usually the only thing we have to farm out is any type of warranty work on a new bus. Obviously that's because it's warranty work, but everything else is done in-house to include, and we'll get there, to include our own body work.
So if you buy an MCI or a Prevost, most of the service and maintenance is done here?
All of it, yeah.
All of it.
All of it are locations. So whatever bus is destined to that site, that's where that work is completed. So all of our locations have a very similar shop setup. For example, let's say we have a bus from Wichita that's in Arkansas and it's coming up on, let's say, a B service, right? Well, we can pull it into the shop in Arkansas. We can do everything that we need to do right there, or they can do it in Tulsa, or, it's interchangeable, I guess is what I'm saying. So yes, while the bus may belong to Oklahoma City, as far as destined out of that location, maintenance-wise, we have the visibility across the company to be able to service that vehicle anywhere we need to within the company. I mean, who wouldn't want to come work in this? No one's freezing their butt off.
It's clean on the floor.
Yeah, everything's clean. It's one of those things, a clean area is a safe area. And to have a safe area, you have to have a clean area. Yeah. Everything has a place and everything needs to be in that place. And then we have our parts area. This is kind of the large parts area as far as that goes. Matter of fact, we're still in transition on some of our parts from the old building to the new building, but directly through those doors. Of course, obviously, parts are kept in pretty good security. Not that we have any worries from our own staff, but it's just one of those things. We're holding a little over $2 million in parts. So it's a good idea to kind of keep an eye on them. And when I say we do all of our own work, you can see right here on this wall, there's a good chunk of change sitting there in windshields for both Prevost and MCIs. That's a really integral part, and a lot of shops can't do that as far as being able to service their own windshields, but every one of our locations does their own windshields. This is actually the platform that they utilize to put the windshield in. So you can set it up, you've got a nice secure platform, you roll it in front of the bus, you can do all the work that you need to do right there and on a firm foundation, instead of some of the guys you see that they got a ladder over here and a ladder over here and a ladder in between. It's like, oh my gosh. I don't know if you noticed, actually up in the ceiling, we have the tethers so that when they are up in the air, they put on their harness and then they're tethered up so that way if there was a fall, obviously there wouldn't be a serious fall. Safety is pretty key, and we're gonna get lucky. We're actually gonna get to see, this is our wash bay.
Okay.
And they're actually washing a bus. So this is our wash bay. This is, once the motor coach returns, this is pretty much where everything starts. Obviously we have the ability to do 2 at a time. So we pull them in here, each end. So they'll start that way and kind of transition out. But this is also in the floor at the end where we can dump the lavatory. They check the coolant. So we have most of the fluids in here. They can do water, coolant, and engine oil. And that's all starts right here. Then the next thing they do obviously is the tire pressure. If there's no issues there, they'll continue on. Usually the inside of the bus, by the time it gets to here, is either in the process of being cleaned or has already been cleaned. We have the wash spot, the brushes, and then literally once it's done here, it goes out that door. It's kind of like anything, you kind of got 2 sides. You got the clean side and the dirty side, so that everything pulls out. We've got the signs that they'll actually put in the windows, and then that lets dispatch and the drivers know, hey, this bus is clean, good, and ready to go.
Is it the driver that cleaned the bus?
No. We actually have a wash bay crew, and that's their job. Wow. So all the driver does is once he or she gets back to the yard, we have our own fueling station here. They'll fuel the bus, get some of the just kind of some of the trash out as far as the normal trash cans. Dump the top lavatory to the bottom, and then they're done. So this is our body service and paint booth. One of very few locations, matter of fact, only Oklahoma City and Wichita actually have body service and paint booths. Ooh, that's some sunshine. So all we have is Prevos and MCIs. Those are the only two that we operate. We've had others in the past. Right now, that's the two types of motor coaches that we're running, because we feel that's basically what our customer expectation is and kind of what we're set up to do. That's traditionally what we've either had or always had. And so from our parts standpoint, from our mechanic knowledge standpoint, they're able to adequately function those.
Do you feel that there is a difference between the MCI and the Prevost?
It's one of those things. Are you a Ford guy or are you a Chevy guy? That's really the way I look at it. They both have their pros and cons. There's things that I like about one, and then there's other things I like about the other. So I think it's a very even pace. Like I said, we have a pretty equal balance of both. Myself, there's no preference. Now, you talk to some of the drivers, and that's a whole different thing. Boy, some of them are dyed in the wool Prevo, and then some of them are dyed in the wool MCI. For me, one of the things that I've noticed, it looks like whatever you cut your teeth on or whatever you learned on, that seems to be the way that everybody wants to lean. And if you think about it, all of us are kind of that way. If you know something really well, you're less likely to want to go do something else. And then we were talking about fueling. All of our sites, with the exception of Fort Smith, we all have on-site fueling. And obviously that does a couple things. Obviously convenience is number one. The most important to us is price. So we're paying much less in fuel if we're fueling on-site as opposed to fueling off-site at a Flying J or Love's or Pilot or something like that. Really nice to have that feature at our locations. Our drivers love it because that gets them in and out and back to their home life quicker.
Do you have any buses with steering tag axle?
Well, so yes, some of the MCIs, depending on what its year model is, actually have that feature. Yeah, that have the steering assist in the tag. And of course, the Prevos, they lift, and some do it automatically, and then some you have to do manually. And we have a good mixture of both. So yeah, in our parking area, we've got, matter of fact, you can see the OSU bus. So that's Oklahoma State University. It's a local university we do a lot of work for, and we're really, really proud to actually be a proud partner with them. You can't go anywhere that people aren't stopping you, wanting a picture, or even just driving down the road, taking pictures of you. Like I said, Pistol Pete and the Razorback bus, the same thing. You can't pull them out of the parking lot without somebody wanting to come look at it or see it or get their picture taken with it. And I can't blame them. I've seen other buses kind of the same way. It's like, man, that's cool. A quick plug, thanks TurboGrafx. They're the ones who take care of all that for us. We're not the graphic people. I guess you could say that's one of the things that we do outsource. The vinyl that's on our buses, the Village vinyl, we do that in-house. That's done. The only thing that goes outside would be something like that. Same thing with our transport trucks. We do both tractors and trailers. From the maintenance standpoint, stem to stern, tractors and trailers, there again, except for the warranty items, and then all the vinyls, graphics, and everything is actually done at our body shops here as well. Here we're looking at about, I think, 23 folks here. And as far as vehicles, like I said, about 14 tractor trailers. I think there's 47 or 48 seated coaches. We don't run necessarily any entertainers out of here, but they, just like any of our locations, if they're gonna be off for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, and the driver's an Oklahoma guy, or let's say the trip ended here and is also going to restart here, then that's why the entertainer coach would be here. Unless it needed some home maintenance or something of that nature, that's the only reason we would send it back to its origin market. But as long as it was here, that way we wouldn't have to pay the deadhead miles to send it somewhere else for it to just sit in a parking lot.
You mentioned earlier that you build the entertainment coach.
Yes, that's in Valley Center or Wichita, Kansas. So we purchase the shell from Prevo, and then we take it to our Coach Work Center in Valley, center, and that's where they begin the process. We're only doing them for ourselves, and basically that originated by needing to control cost and quality.
Can you mention some big names?
Yeah, so actually right now, Tyler Childers, I don't know if you guys are country music fans. So that's one of the cool ones that we like, because not only do we have the entertainer division part of it, we also have the transport division part of it. So it's really cool to see when you pull up at a venue and it just looks like the Village Army showed up. You know, because our entertainer coaches are there, our transports are there, and everybody's just like, okay, what do you not do? And it's like, well, I don't know yet. So I basically just like to say, hey, thanks everybody for taking the time to watch. And if you ever have a need to travel somewhere in the United States, come see us at Village Travel. And I want to, just say how much I appreciate you guys taking the time to come out and visit with us. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching the video here today, and thank you so much for being able to come to see one of these American facilities. So interesting to see that everything is in-house. We should learn something back in Europe. If you like what you see, click down here. The button is called subscribe, and then you will see all the future videos from us in Bussmagasinet. Until next time, drive safely. Have a great day.